Hey, MOEOers, you know we MOEO everywhere we go, and I'm here today on the beaches at Marathon, Florida, right in the heart of the Keys. And just wanted to come to you today and talk to you a little bit about what MOEO is. People sometimes ask me, what is MOEO? What do you mean by MOEO? And I tell them it means to make the most of every opportunity. There's a scripture, two places actually in the New Testament, Colossians 4:5 and Ephesians 5:16, that says make the most of every opportunity. And the MOEO lifestyle to me is making the most of every opportunity every day when it comes. And right now it's a beautiful morning in Marathon, and one of the reasons that I'm here in Marathon is because we had planned this spring break trip, and I know there's a lot going on with the coronavirus and everything, and we had to make a decision as to whether or not we were going to come. And after some long hard thinking, we decided we would go ahead and take this trip. One of the things that made me decide to go ahead and take this trip is that I truly believe that time spent with family in a place like this, when it's just you guys, is so important. It's more important than anything else. And I know that at one time, at the end of my life, I'm going to sit back and look at all the things that were done and that we did. And I know one thing, the thing that I will wish for more than anything else is just one more day on the beach with my family. So I'm not going to sacrifice that, because I know time is finite and I want to make the most of that opportunity. So we decided to do it. Our opportunity was there and we took the trip. And yesterday as we traveled, I had two interesting happenings. First thing, we were in the airport at Dallas-Fort Worth, and I saw a young man sitting in the airport, and he was wearing a hoodie that said Dallas Renegades, and he had on sweatpants that said Pitt, like Pittsburgh College, Pittsburgh University. And I thought, I bet that guy plays for the Renegades in the XFL. So I didn't think much about it. We got on the plane. He happened to be on our plane. We landed in Fort Lauderdale, and when we landed, we were waiting on baggage, and there he was, standing right there. And so I thought, I'm gonna do a little detective work. And I looked up Dallas Renegades roster, and there was one player from the University of Pittsburgh. So I pulled up his picture. Sure enough, that was this guy. So I decided to take the opportunity to meet someone new, someone interesting. I walked over to him, I introduced myself, and I said, "Are you James Folsom Jr.?" And he got the biggest smile on his face, so polite. He said, "Yes, sir, I am." And I said, "Well, I saw your hoodie, and I thought you might play for the Renegades, so I looked you up." We talked for probably 5 minutes. I found out that he went to college at Pittsburgh. He was drafted by the Green Bay Packers. He was in their training camp this year. Didn't quite make the final cut. Signed with the Renegades. Still has big dreams to play in the NFL. Just a great conversation with a great guy. I'll post a picture of me and James together. James is making the most of his opportunity. He's got talent galore, and he's got a chance, and he's not giving up on it. Now that this season is done, he's going to work out and be ready to sign a free agent contract with somebody in the NFL. So I'm a big James Folsom fan all of a sudden, because he's got all the potential in the world, and he's got opportunity in front of him, and he's making the most of that opportunity. So James Folsom Jr., the newest member of my MOEO Nation. Later that day, we got in the car, we drove from Fort Lauderdale on our way to Marathon. We stopped in the last little town before the Keys called Florida City. There was trying to find a place to eat. Angie used TripAdvisor to look up some places, and there was one little place that looked so interesting. It was called Yardie Spice. teeny tiny little place. We read about it and thought, let's try this place out. So we headed for the address, could hardly find it, drove past it. It's a tiny little restaurant in a little bitty strip mall. This thing only seats probably 12 people. We walked in, there's one other guy there. The owner, his name, Jean-Paul Cadat. Jean-Paul is Jamaican. His wife is from Haiti. Jean-Paul, I found out, went to college for culinary hotel and restaurant management. Worked for a hotel for a long time and then had the opportunity to go out on his own and give it a go. Chase his dream. He was making good money working for the hotels, but this was his dream. The chance to go out on his own, open up a restaurant and see what happens. That takes courage, guys. That's what MOEO is all about. Opportunities there. You got to be courageous and take it. John Paul did. This restaurant was amazing. Tiny little place. You probably wouldn't even walk in if you weren't a MOEOer. But when we pulled up, we were like, should we go in or what? My wife, Angie, said, hey, we MOEO everywhere we go. There was the answer. No more questions, no more thinking. We went in. And we got to meet John Paul. Such a humble, generous, welcoming man. If you're ever in Florida City, it's the place to be. And that's what it means to MOEO. Take the opportunities. If there's a question, just ask yourself, do I MOEO everywhere I go? Don't leave those opportunities on the table. Time is finite. Make the most of it. And MOEO everywhere we go.